Welcome to Sola Melodica. I am Tim Kaiser. On this channel, we reflect and react to music lyrically, looking for a glimmer of God and redemptive qualities in the gift that is music. If today is your first time visiting, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you are a frequent flyer, thanks for coming back. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and partnering with what we're doing. And shout out to all the people outside the United States, because about half of the visitors and listeners to this channel are in different countries. I think we have almost like 30 countries represented outside the United States and outside North America. It's great. So thank you so much for joining me and listening to what this music and bringing, hopefully we're bringing value to your life. Today we are doing a song, a first time song for a band called Demon Hunter, and the song is I Will Fail You. These lyrics are fantastic and devastating at the same time, and they should really go well with what we're accomplishing, trying to accomplish on this channel. So without further ado, Demon Hunter, I Will Fail You.
In the shadow of an endless grace, relentless, my reign is undone. In this abandon, I will devastate, dismember till agony's found. Though the sorrow and fear
I'm gonna stop this briefly. This lead singer, and forgive me, I do not know his name, but his voice is so smooth. Oh my, so smooth. And yeah, this is a great song. Wow. I'm not gonna have a minute. Wow. So this song reminds me of a movie I just watched, actually. It's an older movie, and I can't think of the name of it right now because even when I was watching, I thought the name of the movie was a bad name, a bad title. But it had Ben Affleck in it, it had Russell Crowe in it, it had Helen Mirren in it, it had Viola Davis. It had a huge cast in it, and the cop from Stranger Things was in it. It was just a huge, but we watched it and we got to the end of it, and I told my wife, I said, you know what I really appreciate about that movie is that each character had flaws that were exposed in the movie. Even this quote unquote good guy, or the protagonist, so to speak, had flaws, and that's not always the case in movies or books. And I appreciate when an author or a screenwriter or whatever puts together art forms like that where it shows people as flawed. Even this quote unquote good guy again, or good girl, whatever, has flaws because we're humans and we're flawed. And this song really reminds me of that idea. Great job, Demon Hunter. These quiet words, they carry me away, returning. They keep coming back, and idle thoughts and hollow cutaway disarm me, no will to attack. Though the sorrow and fear they may depart you today, I will fail you. Oh, that I'm sure. I will remind you of the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core. It reminds me of the story when in the Bible where Peter asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive my brother? 7 times? And I think it was 7 times in a day. And Jesus is like 77 times. Some translations say 70 times 7. The point is, it was a lot. And then he uses this explanation about people who are illustration about people who have debt forgiveness. And one was like, I don't know, $5, $10, something like that. And one was like $150 bazillion. It was so crazy about a number. It was like, buying somebody a Happy Meal at McDonald's versus buying somebody a planet. I mean, and he was like, it doesn't matter, right? Our choice is to forgive. That's really the only choice we have, because God forgave us. And do we forget? Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Somebody did you wrong. You don't keep going back in the same crazy situation, but you can forgive and move on and turn it over to God. Because if there needs to be justice, if something happened that was truly horrendous and ghastly, understand that the vengeance belongs to God, and there will be recompense. And it's not up to us to that. We just move on. Because when we don't forgive, we enslave ourselves, we imprison ourselves, because that person's moving on. They're not thinking about you anymore, dude. They're not thinking about you anymore. And if you always think about them, you've enslaved yourselves into them. So let's forgive, and then you move on, right? But here he's saying, basically, my interpretation of this song is that he's saying, God, you forgave me, and guess what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. Yeah. Lost in the shadow of an endless grace, relentless, my reign is unbound. In this abandon I will devastate, dismember, till agony's found. These are some really good lyrics. I love these lyrics. Though the sorrow and fear they may depart you today, I will fail you. Of that I'm sure. I will remind you the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core. So here's a little bit of encouragement for you. The perfection is the expectation for God, right? It's not just being good, because you can't be good enough. And the Bible is pretty clear that it says none are good, no, not one. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. This should give you comfort and understanding that, according to one of the Psalms, I'm drawing a blank on which one, Psalm says, I probably think it's Psalm 103, he says that he remembers that we are just dust. He's the one that created us, and we are going to fail him, right? He's big enough to handle it, for one, God is. 2, the sacrifice that Jesus paid for us is sufficient. Is sufficient. The sacrifice of Jesus, get this into your heart, man. The sacrifice that Jesus paid is sufficient. You don't have to do anything. And if you try to do anything, you're going to screw it up. You can't do anything. Salvation in heaven is a grace gift. It's a gift. It's by grace through faith. He gives the grace, he gives the faith. We simply walk into this, receive it, and turn our lives over to him. So you're going to mess up, right? If you mess up tomorrow, you know, like, oh yeah, I shouldn't do this anymore. I'm so sad. I'm just a bad person. Get over yourself, man. Get over yourself, and you go to God in the power of Jesus, and you say, you know what? I need forgiveness. Guess what? When you ask for forgiveness is not when God finds out about it. He knew about it. You just need to ask for forgiveness. Why? I don't know why. He makes up the rules. He says that he is faithful and just to forgive us of all unrighteousness and cleanse us. Forgive us of all sin and cleanse us of all unrighteousness when we go to him and ask for forgiveness. So just do it, man. What you waiting for? I know they prey upon me. I feel them just beyond my door. I will fail you, of that I'm sure. I will remind you of the pain forevermore. And when my sins are just a memory, faith restored, I will fail you to the core. Now, I don't know, these lyrics, again, they're really good lyrics. And maybe he says that I will fail you, of that I'm sure. I'll remind you of the pain forevermore. He might be going back to the idea of the pain that Christ suffered at Calvary, you know, getting his feet pierced and his wrists pierced and his body shattered with a cat of nine tails and being tortured and crucified for our sin. But good news is Christ can't be crucified again. He did it once for all, and we have eternal salvation. So this is a fantastic, phenomenal, one of the best songs I can remember even looking at in a long time. So Demon Hunter, thank you so much for blessing us with this song. My prayer for you is that you would come to saving knowledge and the faith of Christ, that you would stop trying to earn your salvation and you would just give it up and surrender to him. You can't earn it. We don't deserve it. I know you're a good person and maybe you do. I don't. I'm speaking for myself here. I don't deserve it, but I'm receiving it anyways. It's a gift that I'm going to receive whether I deserve it or not. And I'm going to continue every single day asking for forgiveness. And if it's the same stupid thing that trips me up, I'm going to continue asking for forgiveness and keep fighting that thing tooth and nail every day until I get to heaven, and then sin is no longer contaminating my bloodline, that I am free, and I'm going to continue fighting it tooth and nail because I respect what Jesus did for me. So anyway, blessings to you, blessing to your family. If this video has given value to you today, please like it, share it, tell somebody about it, subscribe if you would, and I will see you again soon with a new video. Until then, may the grace of God and the peace of God overwhelm you and overtake you.